Hi, thank you guys for being here with me today. Now, do I look at the questions or no?
Do you want to say something first, or do you want to, or you just want us to ask you questions? How's your stay being in Chicago so far? When did you get here, and what have you done so far? Let's make it easy on you.
What have I done so far? Yesterday, oh God, what did I do?
I mean, stuff you can talk about, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, so I had Monday morning and I had a United appearance, so I got to take the plane out and wave it out for it to take off on the runway, and then I also got to announce some flights and stuff, which was pretty scary, but it was a lot of fun, very different. And then yesterday I had a day off, so I went exploring Chicago kind of a little bit, but I kept it pretty low key just to have a relaxing day. And then today I just got up a couple hours ago and I did WGN TV and now I'm here.
Okay, all right. And you had
Oh yeah. So you said on GMA that after every meet you had pizza. So have you had Chicago style pizza, and what's your take on it?
Yes, I have had Chicago style pizza. I actually had it last night. I kept bugging all the guys. I was like, we gotta go to Giordano's, and we had it last night.
So deep dish or thin crust?
Deep dish.
Oh yeah.
For sure.
Well, you started something there. You know that, right?
Well,
You started some stuff now. You started some stuff. So what do you, to kind of hone in on that, what do you like on your pizza, just so we know?
I just had pepperoni pizza, but the guys had sausage, green peppers, and something else in it. And it was actually pretty good because I tried a piece.
All right. Now, I mean, you've obviously traveled, you've been around, you've had pizza elsewhere. Yes. How does Chicago-style pizza compare to pizza elsewhere?
Well, I think, for pizza, the more, the better. So, I don't know, I think it's just so good because it's so thick and how they layer it.
And so I read that your family wouldn't really be interested in reality TV, but you're a super fan of the Kardashians. So have you been approached about doing reality TV? And if you had your own show, what would it be about?
Gosh, I don't think I would want my own TV show just because I don't know, cameras following me around all the time. I feel like it wouldn't be very natural for me. So if I had one, I don't know what it would be about. All I do is gymnastics, so that'd kind of be boring. My days are replicas, so do the same thing every day.
Hey Simone, my name's Mitch. I'm with the Sun-Times. I just was wondering, I'm sure as an athlete you've been through your ups and downs. Can you relate to the Cubs' experience of having a drought from 1908 to presently, the World Series?
I'm not a big fan of sports because all I ever did was gymnastics. So what do you mean?
I mean, the Cubs fans in Chicago have been without a World Series since 1908, and they're in the playoffs right now, so there's this big fever. Are you at all a baseball fan or a Cubs fan, or can you relate to that sort of experience of going so long without success in your sport?
Sorry. Well, I'm from Ohio originally, and then I'm based in Houston, so I don't really get out to much games very much.
Okay.
But I think I understand what Mitch is trying to get at is obviously you are a person who can focus and work hard toward a goal.
Yes.
You see the Cubs, a team who has been working hard and obviously has fallen short over the years. Talk about how you overcome obstacles to achieve success.
Mm-hmm. Well, over the past couple of years, I've always just set goals, and if I've ever had any obstacles in the way, you just have to keep a positive mind. And I also had a sports psychologist that I would go to help me if I was ever having a rough moment or period. So I don't know, I'm a pretty positive person, I'd say, so I think that's always helped me in my personality.
And so when you, to go off of Mitch's question, so when you see all the kind of excitement about the Cubs and they won the division series, how do you relate to that? Do you know how they feel? Can you sense that a little bit?
I think I can, because it's kind of like world championships for me. They've worked so hard for something, and finally achieving it is a dream come true. So I do get that, because there have been times where you just work for something so hard, and whenever it happens and you accomplish it, you just feel really good and happy and proud of yourself.
Good. What else you have? I
Oh
have
yeah,
stuff on you.
you said that you had a shopping problem. So Michigan Avenue. What's your favorite thing to shop for? Like what are you a shopaholic about? Clothes.
Clothes, yeah.
And what do you find really hard to shop for? Maybe because of your height or anything like that.
Sometimes dresses are a little bit more difficult to find because not a lot of things come small, or they come small but they're always out of it because everyone gets it first. But yesterday I did go and I didn't really shop for that much. I only got like 2 t-shirts and like a headband, so I did really good. I was so proud of myself.
Oh. Do you think that you'll compete in another Olympics?
Yes, in 2020 I'll take a bit of time off for now because we're on tour and I can't commit to training 100%, so I'm taking a little bit of time off. But then yes, 2020 in the future.
Do you think you'd eventually come back as a coach or a broadcaster if you were ever offered that position?
I don't know. I think Nasia does a very good job for us, and I think she enjoys what she does. And I don't know, like being on camera all the time. I don't know how I feel about it.
Now, whereas you said you were from Ohio, you do have, Chicago ties, right? I mean, do you folks around you from the city and?
No.
No, nobody from here. Nobody.
Not
okay.
that I know. My coach was from here. But
Okay.
That's it.
Okay. Talk a little bit about you're going to be participating in with other champions. Talk about what your goal is in terms of being an inspiration, to people in general, but certainly other young women who maybe share your personal story, that can relate to your story because they're living it right now.
I would say I have a very unique story, so I would hope it would inspire others to not give up and to keep pushing, because I believe that everything happens for a reason. And so what happened to me was I was very blessed and fortunate. So I don't know, I've always believed growing up everything happens for a reason.
Simone, this is kind of silly, but I know that the mat that you tumble on is 55 feet about corner to corner, and I think pedestrians like me are in awe that you can do what you do.
Yes.
And I'm on the Cubs beat today, so I just want to ask you, it's 400 feet to center field. Do you think you could go all the way from home plate to center field backflipping?
That would take a lot of backflips. Maybe I would just run super far and then do it at the end. So maybe that would count.
Wow.
You created the Biles. Are you working on any other new moves?
Not at the moment because we're not in training. And if I were, I wouldn't be able to tell you guys, because then like other athletes could try it, and if they did it before me, they would get it named after them, So, but currently not at the moment, no.
I have 2 questions. When did you first realize that gymnastics was something you were meant to do and that you were very good at? That's the first question. Second question is that when you were at Rio, down in Rio, when did you realize to yourself, say, hey, I'm kicking some butt here. This is okay.
I guess I fell in love with gymnastics at a very young age, so I've always knew it was what I wanted to do, and I never tried any other sports, or there was never a time where I would come home from practice and tell my parents, you know what, maybe I want to try soccer or swimming or do something else. It was always gymnastics, and I was like one day I was sick and I didn't go to school, but I wanted to go to practice, and my mom was like, no, that's not how it works. You go to school and maybe you skip gym, and I was like, that doesn't make any sense to me. But I don't know, I fell in love at a very young age, and then in Rio, it was a very exciting experience, and once we won team gold, we were kind of all in shock because it finally happened, and we woke up the next morning looking for our medals at the end of our beds, and we realized what we had done, but it doesn't really hit you until it's all over. So it was very bittersweet, but while we were doing so good in Rio, we realized it, but there's no time to take it in and really think about it because we had more meets, or there was just everything going on was just so crazy.
You talk about, the being a gymnast. What is it? I'm going to shock you here. I can't do a backflip. So I'm just wondering, talk to people about what is it? A freedom? Is it a? What is it that you say? This is what you were meant to do. You have that love. Is it just a talk about that? What does that feel like?
I guess it is a little bit of freedom because everyone gets to decide on what skills they want to do. But I think it's also because we're adrenaline junkies and we kind of like throwing our bodies in the air into different forms that no one else can do. Why, I don't know, but we do it anyways. But I don't know, I think it's just like, it's a very unique sport and not many people can do it to a very high skilled level. And so once you do something and accomplish it, it just feels very exciting. Kind of almost feels like flying in a way, but we're very controlled.
I know that you wrote a book. So how much is your writing personally, and can you kind of take me through the process of writing a book and kind of what the message of the book is?
The message of the book is about me growing up in my gymnastics career and also being adopted whenever I was younger, but also I wanted them to hear it from me rather, because it's all over the internet, from other people telling the stories, but I wanted it to come from me. And then also, I don't remember how long it took, but I started it this year earlier, whenever the idea came about, and I sat down with a writer and we had numerous sessions of just me talking, and then she would jot down stuff, send me stuff, and I'm like, okay, I would like this way, this way, so.
Awesome.
Are there any other activities in Chicago that you have on your checklist that you haven't checked off yet that you want to do before you head out?
I think it's now called the Willis Tower. I really want to go up there and walk on the glass. I think that'd be really fun. And go to Navy Pier. I haven't really been there yet either.
Have you taken a beam selfie?
I have not. I didn't get to go to the beam yesterday because I like overslept when one of my teammates I was gonna go with him. But I went like 4 years ago and we took pictures at the beam.
Have you been watching Lori on Dancing with the Stars? What do you think of her
Yes.
dancing?
Her dancing is amazing. She was born to literally do dance. And I don't know, she's just so good. I'm Team Lori all the way, of course. But I don't know, what she does is something else that like no one else can do. None of the other girls on the team can dance like her. So it's super exciting turning on the TV and getting to watch Dancing with the Stars, and her being on it is just amazing. And I really do hope she wins.
Okay, we're gonna wrap up in a little bit, so just a couple more questions. Any?
This is the first time you'll be able to vote. Is that right?
Yes.
And have you voted yet? Are you planning to?
No, I think my parents want to take me because it is the first time I can't vote. But I haven't had much time to think about it because we've just been we came back from Rio and everything's kind of been a whirlwind. Like I haven't even been able to go home, really. I've been home for like 4 days.
Oh, wow. And what are your plans during this off year? You said that you were kind of taking a year off. So what do you do during the year?
I'm not sure yet. Right now we're on tour. Our last stop is November 13th in Boston, so we still have quite a ways to go. But then after that, you have like obligations with your sponsors. You have all these cool opportunities, and I think your mind and body just need a rest because you've been going for so long. And